The federal government was never meant to be a welfare state. The United States of America was never meant to be a welfare state, but rather to preserve the liberties and to provide justice and equality for all so that every person could reach their full God-given potential. The government's role is not to redistribute wealth. This is a democracy, not a monarchy. The poor are not advocating for the redistribution of wealth. They're not mad at people because they have money. And they're not sitting around saying, wow, I really want a check. Where's mine? That's not what people are telling me is, Reverend, I don't want welfare. I had a lady come up to me the other day and say, you know what? I'm on unemployment. I'm receiving unemployment. I gave the checks back and I started working because I don't want to be dependent on government. She didn't know who I was. I mean, we were talking and so forth. And I hear that story so often. And CNN will never cover that story. You're not going to read that story in the New York Times. You're not going to hear the popular pundits of this redistribution of wealth talking about that because they want you to believe, they want all of us to believe that these poor people in the ghetto need them to take care of them. They need them to get out of their lives. I told this very prominent civil rights lawyer several years ago that we didn't need you anymore. I said, you did your work well. I said, but the black community doesn't need you anymore. Thank you very much. We're okay now. We got enough education, we got enough money, we're okay. Find another project. Leave us alone, okay? And that's the deal. It's like, hello, the black community doesn't need white liberals to save it. And I can say that with conviction.
As I'm sure you know, right now unemployment's a huge issue. Nationally, it's around 10%, probably higher, if you include the people who aren't counted. My question is there any sort of specific legislation that you support or that, you propose that, I guess, would combat the problem?
Unemployment in this district, in New York's 15th Congressional District, among black and Hispanic males between the ages of 18 and 40 is 55%. 55%. Highest in the nation, right here. Charlie Rangel has been in office for 40 years. He was chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. If government could and wanted to solve that problem, it could have. That problem was created a long time before this recession started. So government does not have the answers. Government's answers are to make people more dependent on government. In order to combat unemployment, you need free enterprise. You need free enterprise. The way to create jobs right now is to bring entrepreneurs to the table and get the bureaucrats away from the table. Bureaucrats can't create jobs. If they could create jobs, they would have stayed in business. It's amazing. They went, it's the quote, they went to Washington to do good and they stayed to do well. Listen, government is not a business. Government is a service. You should not get rich being a legislator. Something is inherently wrong with that.